You are listening to the No Invite Podcast.
Season 3.
The progression.
Follow us on Instagram at no_invite_podcast or look us up on YouTube at No Invite Podcast. The best kept secret.
All right, bang, you know what it is. This is the No Invite Podcast, episode 101, the aftermath for all y'all that caught the inebriated and rant. If you got that and you're the first person to tell me the Easter egg that DMs me what she said that pertains to all this, you know what I'm saying, you might get a t-shirt from RiBirth Clothing Co. But we in the building right now. We got Hot Momma. How you doing? We got the best kept secret.
You know it.
And we got a special guest today. We got Brittany, our resident mental health specialist, and somebody that's gonna help us tell y'all how fucked up we are, basically.
Yeah. Please don't tell us how fucked up we are.
How you doing?
I got you. I am wonderful. How are you?
All right. I love it. I love to hear it. I thank you for, I appreciate it. I'm glad that we got a guest. I'm glad that we're in here. Actually, it's been a couple weeks, you know, off and on. The 100th episode happened, and it was kind of a hit and miss. You know what I mean? We filmed it, which we don't really typically do filming for this podcast. It's really audio only, and occasionally we'll do Zooms and whatnot. But we filmed it. We had some technical difficulties, so the actual visual, which is hilarious, has yet to come out. When it does, we'll make sure we tag y'all, you know what I mean? But the 100th episode was lit. I loved it. I like how Ann was on her shit. You know what I'm saying? I like that big Ann energy. You know what I'm saying?
Is that what we're calling it?
Yes. Oh,
Ann was definitely packing that day.
Big Ann energy. Ooh, that bang shit.
Hey.
Not to be used without the specific intent of knowing my podcast and all right. But we're in the building right now. So how do you feel now that you watched the podcast and listen to it? How do you feel about your performance wise? Like, what's your grade? The grades are in.
Well, obviously an A. But I will say,
good looking out on being humble.
I will. I tell everybody I'm really not. Like, I'm not humble. I should be, but no. I honestly, I loved it. The only thing I will say is, I know my nerves got the best of me, and yeah, I was like, ooh, I was quite inebriated.
Yeah, I mean, you came in with a fifth of tequila, seeing how many people were in there, and they're like, it's not enough. There was only like 4 people really drinking. You're like, it's not enough. I'm like, it's going to be one of them motherfuckers. All right, then, let's get to it. She went and got another fifth. We all took shots. It was a special occasion, though. Don't get me wrong.
It was celebration time.
Look at him counting bottles.
It was celebration time, and I was definitely celebrating.
It was definitely something to celebrate, though, so that's legit for sure.
Yes, I think that the 100th episode, honestly, I thought was dope as fuck. Like, everything kind of just fell into place as far as, like, to me, how everything went. I was like, oh my God. And then, yeah.
So, Ann, can I ask you, what did you enjoy about, what was old boy's name?
Dre.
So
Dre the Guru, get that shit right.
Dre the Guru. Sorry, I put some respect on his name.
He's philosophing in his ass, you feel me?
What is he a guru of, though?
Everything.
Ann could answer that question.
Everything.
Ooh la la. Okay.
Go ahead and spill it. I'm curious now.
Yeah, tell us the good, the bad, the ugly.
Because she
Come
really
on,
is like,
I want to hear.
So, yeah. You got to listen to the podcast.
No, I listen to the podcast. Girl.
What she wants to know is
Insider
how you feel now.
bro.
Like,
yeah.
how you feel now about
Time
the situation?
Passed.
How is y'all connection? Is there a connection? Because y'all said y'all were cool on the episode, but I mean, people don't know. You know, that's just a moment. You know, there's so much.
You sounded hella cute.
He is fine.
No, you girl.
Oh,
you sounded
thank you. But no, I think after I honestly. I feel like everything happens for a reason, and the way everything turned out, it was supposed to happen that way. I don't know who the because we had 2 that flaked. I'm like flaking ass niggas anyways.
Red flag.
Yeah,
automatic red flag. But yeah, when he showed up, I was like, stop fucking playing with me. Cause I was unaware that he even liked me. This is a person that I've had encounters with. I won't say how I know him, but I know him. But I've never known that you even had an interest or that you even like, we have regular dealings and you never said, hey, I'm going to be on this podcast with you. Like nothing was ever said. So for me, I walked in and I was so surprised. Like,
I'm sorry.
I cannot believe this shit is happening to me. So it actually worked out. But he's hella cool. Yeah, we talk.
But I have a question
every day.
though.
That's good.
Because I'm so curious, how did it, like, was there not, like, how was it put out? Was it just like, hey, like an open invite, or were certain people selected, or so?
So we had posted about it. I posted it on my page. We posted it on the no invite page, and you can be a contestant. And so whoever wanted to, they were going through the no invite page in order to figure out who the contestants were. I didn't actually like have that part, like it wasn't a thing for me. So yeah.
We basically, I helped make the arrangements. We did a post because we said it on the, we were trying to figure out what exactly we were going to do. I didn't give a fuck about the 100th episode, to be honest with you. I was like, yo, until we get to where we want to go, we keeping our head down, we grinding, right? But they're like, it's a occasion because,
it is.
you know, 100 episodes, weekly, one episode a week, that's tough for anybody. I mean, I know people that ain't even that committed in a relationship, so. I mean,
That's true.
Well, goddamn.
I might see you every other week, baby. You know what I'm talking about?
Baby.
But so I was like, okay, what are we gonna do? At the same time, it came up in conversations. Like if you go a couple episodes back, you'll hear, and was like talking about she needed a good man. She was for the streets all summer. Now she's ready to reel it back in. You feel me? So, well, I was like, well, let's do the dating game because I'm old school. Like, so you know, I grew up late night. It was the dating game. It was fucking. All those fucking games where people are trying to hook each other up. They ask potential questions. So we put it out there and we had 3 people that actually replied that were serious. One, actually 4. One, I gave them, they got the invite. The other person got the invite. Dre got the invite. 2 of them faked. So now I was like, fuck, this is going to fuck the podcast up had we been only relying on it to be that. But I was like, you know what, fuck it. He's just going to come on. We're going to do the dating game, but it's going to be a one-on-one. If you like him, you like him. If you don't, you don't. And it looks like your boy. I mean, I'm not saying I'm
a matchmaker.
I'm a pussyologist, but let's just say I'm in training. You feel what I'm saying? So I know what works. And then when everything came together, I was just like, yo, we couldn't have did it better. The only thing, like I said, I'm disappointed from the last episode. The only complaint I have at the entire experience, the final product, everything, is just the fact that we weren't able to churn out the visual on time, because that's very much a big part. You know, when people get these episodes, especially your fans that really look and check for your podcast, you know, they look for them. When they get them, and you know, they don't want to wait, and it's going to be hard to get people to revisit that one again. So it's going to affect our numbers. But I encourage anybody that really fuck with the podcast, you got to see it, because it's one thing to hear our voices, but it's different when you see expressions on people's faces.
That's what I was gonna say.
And being a goofball and getting all shy and embarrassed and shit.
That's what I'm looking forward to. Like, I started off as just a listener, honestly, and I'm like, I don't care what it takes. Like, I'm gonna wait for that visual, just because, like you said, them faces that you guys make, or I can't wait to see you get all nervous and like see your little, I don't know, it's gonna be really cute.
It makes it personal. It's like you're kind of there and you feel the energy.
I feel connected to you
a little bit. Well, I got a question then.
Yes,
so
ma'am.
What are your expectations? What is your standards? Like, if you were to name 5 things that you expect this to be different, what would it be? Or would you
as far as a relationship? Well, the first expectation, she gotta have good head. No, I'm just playing.
She's not. I don't know.
No, I'm not. But that, no.
I mean, I didn't see no lie in that.
No. I mean, but
head matters.
Yes. No, but I mean, overall, like the sexual experience, I've learned I am a very sexual person. So, like, I can't be with the man who's like a prude. I'd be like, oh, wait, what?
What if he's just real conservative with his dick? Like, hold on. We gotta plan this out. We gotta
I didn't like his answer as far as the fucking video game went, bro. Remember when you were like, what happens if I come up and lick your face? He's like, I'm going to finish what I'm doing. Are you serious?
But you want to know why she likes that? You want to know why she likes that?
Some bullshit.
Because Ann wants somebody that's going to not just do everything that she says.
No,
Ann wants somebody that's going to stand up. And even though she didn't like his answer.
I didn't like his answer.
I didn't like it either.
She liked that he took a stand, though.
I do. I think also, like, in any relationship, I love I love kids. That is a big thing for me. So you have to be a person that because even if they're not my kids, I keep my little cousins, all kind of stuff. So definitely
family orientated.
You have to be family oriented for me to be happy, and you have to want more babies, and you have to make a money. And hold on, how many?
I mean, we're just going with it. I'm here for it, but I want to make something.
But I also need to. I need somebody that's goofy. Like I can't be with somebody. I've learned people that are too serious. I usually get on their nerves. Like some of the questions that I asked were all questions I've thought of. So like the licking your face, I will do something like that. Or like if I'm just sitting here and I'm like we just watching a movie, I may just like poke you on the neck for no reason, and you be like
for funsies.
Yeah.
We stab you in the neck for funsies.
He said stab, I said poke. I'm in a low cute poke.
Different. Yeah.
Stab, I'm gonna be like, yeah.
I'm sure y'all know the difference.
I mean, I've been stabbed and I've been poked. No,
I actually preferred the stabbing.
I was like, whoa.
Okay then.
Okay, but
so I was right again.
So what I was gonna say was, so it's interesting because I noticed one quality just about him and his interactions. One, he's committed to what he says and he's a man of his word. He came here. He said he was going to be here. And
that's a fact because he was the first one to tap in.
Even though you didn't like his answer, even though you didn't like his answer, he still finishes what he says he's going to finish. So even if it was a game, he said, I'm committed to this. I'm going to finish it. So that says a lot about, it's small, but it says a lot about character.
That does.
Well, you know what I seen that I knew that and like, because like I said, you could tell like it's when you're seeing people interact. Like I'm a people watcher. You feel me? I'm observing and I see like everything. So I'm fucking out of pocket. But anyways, now I could
don't
tell.
Watch me.
I could tell Ann was don't look at me.
Or do. No, I'm just kidding.
Hey, and don't be watching me when I'm watching you. That shit ain't cool. Like,
look away, please.
Let me get.
Don't look at me.
Let me do this. I need this.
No more locked doors.
That's terrible.
Hey, that's my shit.
Hey, you don't know how true that is.
Oh my god.
Nah, but look, so now when I seen them interacting, I already knew it's a go. He was one of the first people that tapped in. You know what I mean? And I don't think any woman likes somebody that doesn't stand on something. Like if you're just wishy-washy and whatever, or no, I don't know. Nah, I mean everybody, you know, I'm a team player, so I could go with the flow or I could throw the touchdown, you feel me? Whatever it takes. But you got to have something to stand on. I think when a woman looks at you, they just need to know like that you're gonna be solid. You know what I mean? Whatever it is, I don't mean like tough. I just mean
secure.
Like,
I need to make sure I'm safe. Yeah. And you know, one of my favorite quotes is by Les Brown. He says, "How you do anything is how you do everything." Ooh. So you really have to really think about that. So that is important to watch people. It is important to kind of get that information because you're collecting information through silence. How they're moving, what are they doing, how are they interacting with others,
the mannerisms,
the manners, how they treat people when you're out. That's a big one because I cannot stand someone who's disrespectful, like to a waiter, to someone,
someone.
Yeah,
what's that quote? I forgot his name. It said, "How you treat people that could do absolutely nothing for you tells a lot about yourself."
Yeah, it sure does.
So you know, like to me, I mean, my mom's a server, grew up in that kind of a household and stuff like that. So I've always learned from that. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm gonna say what I gotta say. So if like something ain't right, I'm be like, "Hey, can you do this? You know, do that, whatever." But ain't no need to talk to people like they're not your kids. They're not your fucking. You know, they're there to provide a service. And I know you're into fucking you got your own business and you're into fucking.
But my clients know.
Well,
Watch your tongue.
It's different, you know why?
Watch your tongue.
Put your hands on them, though. This could go real smooth, and this shit could hurt.
That's how I feel about restaurants. Don't be rude to the fast food people. Don't be rude.
I think that everybody should work in like the restaurant industry sometime in their life. You know what I mean? Just to get a feel of what it feels like to serve. You know what I mean? In whatever aspect, like whether
you don't want Ann to be mad at you when she's giving you your vajacial. Just
now let me tell you,
those are amazing though.
Oh, if you want, listen, if you would like to get one done, all you got to do is go to Anasa Opulent Aesthetics,
she has
and I got you.
no problem staring at you dead in your face, having a whole conversation with you, and then looking at your cooch later. Just
that's
so
women.
Know.
I
know.
Thing.
It's just to me, it's amazing. To me, it's amazing, and it's a beautiful thing.
It is a thing.
It is.
It's beautiful.
How are the kids? They're great. You know. How are you?
So full blown conversation while your vajation's going on. So okay, so look, everybody. How about you? So we're gonna jump as somebody that didn't get to be there, but you wanted to be there, and I know that you listened to the podcast more than once. How do you rate it? You could give your honest opinion on a score. We're gonna do the old school fucking A B C D E F whatever the fuck.
Whoa.
You know
What?
I don't know about y'all, but I got in trouble.
Lost.
I got in trouble. With
Oh,
that
I see.
song.
I
There's a
see.
lot of
Like a
F's in
report
my,
card.
yeah.
Like
So
a
what's our
report card.
grade? Yeah, our grade
Okay.
for the 100th episode.
I'm gonna give you guys a B.
Okay.
Like, to keep it real, I'm a little sad the visuals didn't come out, so that's why you don't got an A.
Yeah.
Right?
I'm glad she said that because I was sitting here like,
But
hold
that's
on, no,
not
she
your
didn't.
fault, though. That's not your guys' fault. You guys showed up. You guys did your part.
Oh no, yeah.
You know what I
It's
mean?
not about blame. It's
And it's not about blame
nobody.
neither, though.
I
But
don't-
I mean, it is what it is. It's a team effort, and sometimes. Anywho, I enjoyed it.
He's so dramatic.
This shit really hurt, man. God, you don't know.
I'm so sorry. I won't bring it up again. You got an A. You did great.
Thanks. I'm a rock with that.
The lies hurt more than that. Just know that.
I'll say
No.
it slower.
When you lie to me, it hurts
You know the
more.
one thing I really loved?
What?
I loved the live audience.
The studio audience?
The natural reaction.
I called them the peanut gallery, bro. I love the peanut gallery. They had
Yes.
some shit to say for all the questions.
Yeah.
They were like,
One of my cousins was in the background and she's like, I hate my voice. I'm like, girl, because it's squeaky as fuck.
I didn't think so. Shout out to your
No
cousin.
mercy.
I didn't hear no squeaky voices.
Sweep the
No,
leg.
it is.
No,
I'm like, I
don't
told
tell
her.
her that. Be nice.
That is me saying it
Like
the
I
nice
said,
way.
once again, the lies hurt more than
Right.
the
No, I didn't
than the
hear any
actual
squeaky
shit.
voice.
Keep
okay?
it 1,000
I
with me.
didn't.
Tell me if my voice sounds crazy.
No.
You feel me?
But yeah, so her being in the background and then the other people like hearing their natural reaction actually made me feel like, damn, I wonder like when people riding in their car or whatever they doing listening to us, is this how they really respond?
Yo, I lived it and I listened to that motherfucker and I was cracking up. You know
Oh,
what
I
mean?
was too. I said, I am so
was
out of
cracking
pocket.
the fuck up.
One of my questions
agree.
was really out of line.
Yeah, I know that.
One of them, and
Oh, just one.
No.
I need to watch this.
Let's break it down real quick. The whole time we're there before we're filming, because we're having technical difficulties, it kind of took us long to get the audio running, right? While we're doing that, we're having shots. We're all conversating, talking shit.
And let's
like,
elaborate on these shots. These are not like we were taking, you
Man
know, you
got a
get the
heavy
glass
hand.
you were
cup.
taking
Yeah.
cups.
We were taking
Plus the
cups.
Douglas Mike Tyson hand. She got a heavy hand. Just so you know.
My hand was like, oh.
Yeah, well, I mean,
I was like, okay. I
So-
felt like every shot was a double shot.
Definitely.
that is a shot.
It was.
That is a shot.
So we're having shots and we're conversating about everything, and Anna's just not pulling no punches, and Dre's like back there chilling like to himself, right? And I'm like, damn. I was like
He's in
Dre,
the green room or
like,
something.
Yeah, but he's not. He's in the green room, but our green room was really just the room next to us with the door open. And Anna over there saying everything like, I don't give a fuck, this community pussy and woo. I was like, ooh. And I know what Ann means when she was saying that. It's not
Sure.
like she was just giving it to any and everybody, but you know
Just
what I
your
mean?
toys is what I
didn't-
heard.
Well, I did explain that.
No, I know what I'm saying. I know that, but I don't
No,
know.
I'm saying to him, I explained it like,
When?
listen, I don't. After. I was like, I
After.
don't want you to think that I'm a hoe, right? Because I'm not just out here fucking everybody. But I do feel like, you
It's
know,
all subjective. You know? We're all a hoe to somebody. You know what I'm saying?
well, you know, I can't be a hoe.
Including me, you know?
That's what I'm
I've
gonna be
been
for
called a hoe,
Halloween.
actually.
I'm gonna be a hoe for Halloween. But I did
Ooh, I
did
can't wait to
explain
see
like
I'm gonna be a player
this.
for life.
Right, community pussy just means like at the end of the day, I'm
It's up
open.
for
So
grabs. It's like
Yeah.
it's like a girl told me once. She goes, "I'm like the last slice of pizza. You gotta scoop me up before someone else does."
facts, bam.
That's a
Love
good
it.
one.
That's a good one, right?
Like, can I just have a
I said,
bite and
I said,
pass?
look at you. I was like, look at you with your foodie hood rat wisdom and shit. Love it. No
Yo,
judgment.
I don't know.
No, but I mean, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter because you know what though. That's kind of why a lot of people, you know, say, "Oh, you met him at a bar." That's not a good thing. It's not necessarily a bad thing neither because you sometimes get the most honest version of that person, and you could tell right away. I mean, you're like, "Yo, I'm good."
Facts.
Because already, if you're like this drunk, I don't even want to fuck with you. Like, you,
But I do think though, okay, let's play with that. You can meet someone at a bar, but if that's not something you do regularly, I would think that you'd want to meet somebody at a place like if you going hiking, you probably might meet someone hiking because then you already have that in common. So the fact that you guys work together, you
have
guys kind of
drinking in
have
common?
that in common. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. You want to find people.
No,
where you have
he's a
common.
pothead.
Yeah.
Oh,
He is such a smoker. I was like, oh my God, you're smoking again? Okay.
No, you're right. You're right. I totally get it. I'm just talking shit really more than anything because I'm a scumbag.
To be honest, I feel like
self-diagnosed.
I don't feel like there's limits to where you can meet somebody. Because
Absolutely.
to be honest, I have experienced that, like when I was married. Mm-hmm. We met each other at Golden Star. We just happened to be.
What's Golden Star?
It's the liquor store.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like, what up, baby? You getting those backwoods right there?
No, you know what's so crazy?
It was before backwoods, or no?
What's so crazy is when I first met my husband, he thought I was hella out of line because I went in there with my male cousin.
Well,
he knew I'm out of line, but I went in there with my male cousin.
Yeah,
and when I went in there with my male cousin, he was like,
Thank you.
He was like, he kept staring at me, but he wouldn't say shit, and I didn't like that. So when me and my cousin walked out, I walked back in like, excuse me, you know it's rude to look and not speak, right? And he was like, that nigga should beat your ass. I said, why would he do that? He's my cousin. Like, I'm lost. Why do you feel that way? He's like, oh, for real? Like, yeah.
The whole time he thought you was taking.
Yeah, he thought I was staring, and I'm staring with a dude. I said, no, I'm actually faithful when I'm in a relationship.
I mean,
I'm still waiting to be in a relationship.
So it's not official then?
So do you believe in that you're single until you're married?
Not 100%. Yes, but no. So I do believe
that is the thing, though. People really feel
for sure.
No,
yeah.
I truly do feel like yes
if you're in
and
a relationship
no.
and you're
because I feel
like
I can be committed to a relationship, but if you ain't got no till death do you part feelings with me, then that means that this will like I'm a person
you're free
where
to move about the country.
yeah,
like
but I'm also a person. The reason why I say yes and no is because I'll be committed while I'm in a relationship, but I put timelines on my relationship.
That part.
I personally don't feel like I'm going to be with you for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years, and I ain't married because guess what? No offense, I'm not. I don't mean this to sound fucked up, but you can just walk away if we ain't married. For damn sure, if I spend 7 years with you, I am entitled to something.
But even something serious, if they're in the hospital, you have no say. Like
Yeah, you
in
have
something
no-
serious, you have no say over what they.
No, that's
so.
facts. And for you to have that mentality is the reason why I would not give my power of attorney over to my significant other. I would probably just, yeah.
What did your son do things or?
Well, yeah, but
I mean,
he's
it's
a
an
kid
ugly
still,
thought.
though. It's a kid. Like, you don't want to really have to put that on the decision.
Exactly.
on him.
So you might as well just sign it over to your significant other.
Nah, hell no. I'm gonna do a video to myself.
He's like, I've already recorded my own my final podcast.
Because
I've already
if this happens, play this tape. If this happens, play this tape. You got me. I'm on my Tupac shit.
Yeah, I really am on some. Now I will say, like, I got married in 2.5 months. I don't think that's 100% realistic. Like now because the
think
space
That's a once
I
in a
am.
lifetime thing.
Yeah,
For
I
a
do
person.
believe that, but I do feel like you probably got like a solid 2 years. And within 2 years, if we ain't talking about the shit that matter to me, then no, you know what,
But
it was cute.
How are you ready to spend the rest of your life with this person? But if he doesn't do one thing, then you're not.
No.
Because ain't that what marriage is? It's like you're basically saying, I want you to make sure that we're together forever and we lock it in and you show me, right? But like, how could you? Because if somebody's not doing that, like, how is that? I don't get that. I don't understand. Like,
So the way it works, I'll say for me, is
of course,
to
there's no
me
right or wrong answer, I
in
guess.
2 years. I'm not saying we have to actually be married in 2 years, but if these are not the conversations if the conversation is not going that way, like I don't want to be your forever girlfriend ever. That's not the position that I want. So I feel like if our conversations are not going in a direction that I feel like is. Because now I'm not even just thinking about me. I'm also thinking about my kids. Like, so if I get to the point where I'm starting to introduce you to my kids and I actually want you to be around, that means I'm going to want you to be around for forever. But I'm not about to be playing house with nobody either. Like, we're not going to be pretending like we together and we live together and we doing all this, but you still like not married to me. No, I don't want that.
So when do you think the right time is for that conversation? When is that? So do you feel like you should
Immediately.
tell
I
someone
don't initiate
immediately?
it.
Because I think it would be important to have that conversation.
I think
Because if
it's
you want
immediate.
kids and they don't, then
Now
could
that
cause-
conversation, no, I did in the podcast ask about the kids.
But you know what though?
But
that's
that's
immediate.
by way of
That's
popping a hole in the
because
condom.
honestly, in my opinion, I feel like Tell me what you want.
Yeah, I just got
She
it.
just caught what I said.
Sorry.
But you know what I'm saying? I was just gonna keep it moving like a speed bump, but go ahead.
I missed it.
I said I did talk to him about kids by way of popping a hole in the condom.
Oh, that was out of pocket.
Yeah. And
That is funny.
I'm like, what the fuck
So-
did she just say on
that's
live
sick.
podcast?
I'll be having to scale and back sometimes. It's not, and you know what? I know what you mean. You didn't mean it like that. Like you just mean because like you meant to like if I was to make this decision, would you be
I
okay
really
with
liked
it?
his
Like,
answer though. Like, why can't we just talk about it though? Right? That was hella
That's what I'm
fucking
saying.
dope.
He's actually
He be doing some
he is
grown
very
people shit
mature.
sometimes, right? Like,
I
that's-
said, "Oh God,
I see you.
you're very mature."
Say it
I
with your
hope
chest,
you know
baby.
Hella childish. I'm like, I hope you know I'm hella
That was
childish,
really
right?
good. That was really good.
But what the fuck were we just talking about? See what happens?
Oh, about the whole kid thing. How do you have
Okay,
the
answer
conversation?
Oh, you
Why?
just what's it called? Oh, no, like I was saying, I just tell me up front, you know, because then I know where I stand with you. If we're gonna keep it moving, like okay, so let's say I'm like I don't want kids, you want kids. I meet you, we're talking. Once we get those conversations out the way, we know how to proceed. If you
I stopped talking.
That's how I feel. Yeah, well, exactly. I mean, but you're not trying to, you're not trying to get to the point where you got feelings and then that shit matters now. It's like you knew from the gate what time it was and you
Right.
chose. It's a choice. Like to me, I'm just like give everybody a choice. Give me a choice. Let me know what it's gonna be and what it's not gonna be, or what you're looking for, what I'm looking for. And if
Exactly.
it happens to align, then
I definitely
we can
feel
take it to
like
that range.
I may not necessarily like. Well, I'm never gonna be that woman that's like gonna propose to a man. That's
I damn
I'm
near
not
did,
her.
bro. I damn near did.
I've
I
been
told my
proposed
husband,
to
I
twice.
said, check it out, are we going to get married or not?
Hey,
I told him.
Now
I've been
I don't.
proposed to
I'm,
twice.
really?
Yeah.
We were
So
trying to
did
go
you
to
Did
say
they
school.
get down on one knee? Did they get down on one knee?
He said,
One did.
I'm about to run
Oh my
out this
God.
room. I'm sorry.
she said, I can't with you guys.
Like, okay, for
I
a
mean, I'm
man to
just saying,
How does
experience
that
that,
feel?
I
Man,
know
hold on.
that blew your head up.
Nah, I didn't blow my head up because I didn't really want it. See, the thing is like some people, they like how we said, give me the choice. Unless we're really in a good space and we've talked about that. Don't start that. You know what I mean? I don't like nobody to. I don't like being forced in anything. You know what I mean? If it ain't natural, if it can't flow, if we can't get some kind of some synergy and shit. I don't want it. You know what I mean?
Hey, I
Period.
feel it.
Yeah.
How I met my old lady, and come to think of it, how I met my old lady, I met her at a bar. And I was performing, and she pulled up with someone that I knew, and I was with like 3 other females, but they were artists. So when I seen her, it was like that Rick James shit that they were talking about on the Chappelle show, the aura. You feel me? She was glowing out of everybody in the crowd, and
Yes.
I was like, okay, that's me right there. So I went to talk to her. But it wasn't no funny shit. You know what I mean? It was just how you doing there. I'm gonna talk. If I like you, I'm gonna come say something to you. So, what happened was she thought I was with these females, so we didn't have no more conversations after that. She started asking her friend about me that I know, our mutual friend, and she found out about me, and that was it. You know what I'm saying?
Aw,
The
love
rest
story.
is history.
How
And we here now. You know what I'm saying?
I
Yeah.
love that.
Yeah, right?
That's
See,
dope.
I do, and that's what I'm talking about. I need to have like that. I think I kind of found it.
I was gonna say.
I don't know.
I was gonna say, yeah, you was talking really good earlier.
No, no, no.
What happened? What happened
Yeah,
between,
but no.
between
I
now
do.
and then?
No. I do feel.
like
I feel like he's. Like I said, I just think I'm a little childish. Like I feel like I'm probably gonna get on his nerves.
Well,
But
know,
do you
sometimes
feel
people
like that,
balance you.
or are you sorry?
No, go ahead.
No,
Yeah,
I'm
let's
saying, but do you
therapize.
feel
Yeah,
like that?
therapize her.
Yes, therapize me, please.
I'm saying, but do you feel like that because of your past, or is he showing you those signs, or is that just
Okay.
something that you're feeling?
So he's not showing me the signs. I think it probably is my past, because a lot of guys that I've dated are super like serious, and I be
so
like,
annoying.
what? Oh my God! Wait, so you
And
didn't find
knows,
that funny?
And I'm sure Ann knows herself, and she knows she's capable
I know.
of annoying people. You
A
know,
little
she
bit.
wouldn't say it if she didn't. And
Okay, I,
mean,
said
but-
I'm sorry.
No, I mean, but it's, no, not me. I was talking about me. We good. I'm just saying in general, like, but I mean, even then, you knowing that and him knowing that, I mean, that's gotta.
Yeah, like I said, even like the way he talks when I do something he don't like is very like, you just like, listen, please just give me a moment. I just feel like I didn't like X, Y, and Z. And I'd be like, Okay.
But he's using I statements. That means he's taking accountability of how he's feeling. He's on like, I felt this way. So I need
She's
a
a
moment.
good one. I like it.
I like
And
that
so-
too.
I tell you, I ain't bring
And-
nobody on here because we fuck around, man. This shit's real. Like, we were just hyping y'all. We weren't just saying, hey, we got the
I know who we got in the
specialist
building.
in the
What
building.
the fuck?
No, but I do. I actually really like him. He's fun.
And
he's
you work
fun.
with him. So if there's some like rapport there. So I don't think you were.
That was the part
Hey,
that
he
now
gives
that-
vacations too?
Do he give them?
Oh my gosh!
You said
I
y'all work together?
forgot. Hit me! Wait.
No.
Oh.
No.
You don't
What
give
if-
vacations?
No.
It's not that kind of work?
No.
Damn,
Different line.
Hey, bro, I was rooting for you, man. If you would have, if I'd have found
Listen,
out you
I
did
don't
it,
even
damn
want a
near been my
man that
hero,
like
bro.
to play in everybody pussy.
That part.
I don't even want a man that like to play in everybody pussy. I'm good.
This is a job we're talking about. Let us be serious for once.
Professional.
I don't want nobody professionally playing in somebody pussy.
I feel that though.
But for the dollars though, for the dollars,
There's so many ways to make a coin. I
You
don't
know
want
what? Not all money's good money.
you
Yeah,
right about that.
and I
but
don't
y'all
wanna-
get it. So I mean, can we all get it? It ain't no fun. No,
If the homies can't have none.
and so look, that was the intro. Obviously, we always carry the intro on much longer than we anticipate. We're gonna go ahead and take a fucking break. It's No Invite Podcast. We're gonna take a quick break. We're back in a minute.
Hey everybody, we're back. No Invite Podcast, episode 101. You see us, we doing big things over here. And we have a special guest today, Miss Brittany.
Hello.
How are you?
I am wonderful. How are you?
I'm so proud of you right now. Just so you know.
Okay, thank you. Oh my god, it got me blushing.
That
Just so you know,
was.
I'm proud of Ann.
I
Go ahead,
know
Ann.
that.
Go ahead, Ann.
But yes, Miss Brittany, so tell us a little bit about you.
Oh, well, I'll give you just a little bit of background. I grew up in the Bay Area, Pittsburgh to be specific.
That's right. Whoa.
Okay, a Pittsburghian.
And
I don't like that. Hold on.
I'm like,
Not a Bergian. Nah.
I know I wasn't.
I'm a Pittsburghian. What y'all mean? I'm from the West. Don't do me.
No, I'm just saying I don't like the.
I didn't even know that
Bergian.
was a name, but it's
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. Apparently it is.
Then I joined the military, and I was in the military for 11 years.
What part? What branch?
The Army.
The Army. Oh shit.
Yes,
Doing
I've
burpees
been
and all
So
that.
everywhere.
you can beat a bitch ass.
I just, I just know who I am.
That's why she's so humble. You see, that was a humble way of saying yes, bitch. I can't.
Definitely. The Rambo came out when she said that.
But that's okay.
That's good.
I don't
What you
look like
do?
it. Maybe, I don't know. I told I have kind of a mean demeanor, or I look
Do you?
kinda, I don't know. That's what
No,
I've
you
been
don't.
told.
You seem
to
cool.
intimidate
You know what it is?
people.
No, but it's different. When I mean that, it's just like when you see somebody that has done something like that, you know what I mean, and you least expect it. That's like formidable. You feel what I'm saying? Never be what people expect you to be.
That's
So
true.
when I look at you, I wouldn't picture the military, and especially the Army. So I know that you have training. So that's what I'm saying. It's like
maybe National Guard.
He thought I was Air Force. He thought I was Air Force or
honestly,
Navy.
Navy. Yeah. Real talk.
I would have gone to the Navy
Yeah.
because they
Also-
just have cool places they go.
But you've
But
been to some places, you said too?
oh yeah, so my first duty station I was in Germany, and
Ooh.
then that was fun. You've never partied until you've partied in Europe. I don't care what anybody
Wow.
says.
No, a lot of people say that about Germany.
Oh,
They
yes.
also say that a lot of Americans have like stray babies in Germany because
Yes.
they
They go out
fucking.
there and
I'm
party
gonna tell
so
you,
much.
so
Military too, I bet.
God forgive me for this, but black men out there, German, when they go crazy for black men, like they don't care if you're married, they will come up, and I'm not gonna lie, some of them women, no, a lot of them women are like
She
drop
said
dead
a lot of
gorgeous,
them?
and you're
Yeah,
just
those
they're
German women.
they dress like video vixens, like normally, like when they're in the club, like you just can't even believe it. It's pretty crazy. Germany's wild, but it was
I
a.
definitely need to go to Germany.
It sounded like
it's-
next
let's
trip.
go
Hold on,
to
wait.
Germany.
Right. So it sounded like No Invite Podcast needs to. We need to like
Because I have
branch
family
out.
out there.
Oh, do
My
you?
husband has family out there. We got a fucking spot.
I feel like we
go
can
as
definitely
units.
do. I feel like the podcast can be done anywhere, and we can
Are we
have
worldwide?
a worldwide tour.
That would be dope.
That would be.
dope.
We'll get there, y'all. Just know that.
Interview
Just know
everybody
that.
around, like the
Yeah.
German communities.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Like, what's up, baby? What you here for? You know what I'm saying?
Guten Tag.
Yeah,
Guten Tag.
Yeah. It's
look
funny
at
because
you,
my
girl,
old
get
company,
down.
it was all ran. It was from Germany and stuff. So, okay, so you were in the
Okay, so I was
Army.
in Germany. got married. That was my first time I got married. That was interesting.
In Germany, you got married?
I got married in Denmark. So in Germany, you can. No, to another military member.
Okay, that's okay. Well,
yeah.
That's okay.
So it was kind of like those months thing. I was like, hey, we're really. So the military has this culture where it's like, we really like each other, but we're going to get stationed somewhere else. So let's get married just to see if it works. It's the worst idea. It never works. I don't care. Like, it's very rare, but that is military culture. Yeah. So then I went to
my wife. I don't know her like that though, but
she wearing my last name though.
Yeah.
But then I went to Afghanistan twice, and that was that was interesting. Came back, went to Colorado. I was stationed at Fort Carson, and then I got a divorce in Fort Carson, and then I got remarried to my son's father. Yeah, it was one of those things. That's another story. That's a long one.
I'm here for that, but we can talk about it later.
Yes, it's a long one.
I kind of want to know your whole life. It's so interesting.
Thank you. I'm an old 33-year-old. I've been through some things.
Been traveled the world.
How old? No, I'm not 32, am I? I don't know.
I was going to say, I don't
like
know the answer to that.
I don't know what he said on mic, but I'm 41, so we'll keep that going.
Okay, look at you.
That's cute. Y'all just dropping y'all ages.
I'm okay with it, right?
You know
cool
what I
with
love?
I just don't want to tell nobody.
Why I love aging? Because I feel like as the older I get, I just get it. And like it makes sense to me. I would never want to be in my 20s again. That was just an interesting roller coaster of debt, emotions, heartbreak, just everything. Yes, it was just. I was married most of my 20s. It was more
so
like
you were locked up too. I don't know where you were locked up at, but my 20s sucked. So I feel it.
Oh my god, my favorite year, damn near, was like 19 probably so far.
No, I would.
Favorite fucking year. What about you, Ann?
Every year is my favorite year.
Really?
I really be like trying to live my dopest life every day. I don't give a damn what it is. Like, I woke up this morning and I had a small water gun and I started spraying my son in the face. I don't know why I did it. I do. He was sleeping. He's like, Mom, I'm trying to get some rest. Can't a man sleep around here? I'm like, no.
Bills, baby.
Yeah.
Maybe you can.
Sad part, he didn't even need to get up. I don't know why I did it. I was just bored, right?
Because he don't pay bills.
But I personally feel like, I'll say my experience in life, everything, all my teenage years or before I became an adult, like I moved out at 15. So I would say from like 11 to 15, I would say 11, probably like 18. It was just so much shit that I refused to let a day go by and I regret that day. I don't give a fuck what's happening. As far as I'm concerned, I'm going to live every day to the absolute fullest. I'm going to be happy. I'm going to dance. Like, when I go to the grocery store, I'm probably just going to do a cartwheel down the aisle. Who cares? So
I might pull my titties out while I'm driving. I don't know.
maybe.
Okay. So back to Britt. So
this is why we need to be therapized.
Yeah, y'all definitely need therapy for sure. And I say that knowing that I need it too. But so you got divorced, got remarried. What made you want to jump into the field that you are in now? Because you are. What is your actual
Tell us
thing?
what you are.
Okay, so I am a marriage and family therapist. I'm currently, I'll be graduating this fall, but I am getting, I'm in my practicum, so I'm actually like practicing. And right now I have adult clients, but prior to that I was a school-based counselor. So
that's fire.
Well, yeah, kids aren't for me, like school-based wise. They're just not, it's just too complex. There's just so much gray area, and it's really hard when you can't hear the parent side or you can't hear or see the dynamic.
Yeah.
So, but what brought me to this is, and I give God all the glory because I wouldn't even be here if it wasn't for him. Because my whole life story, just kind of leading up to this, like I've always had this spirit to help. I feel like I'm here to serve people. I'm here. I love what I do so much. Money is not a thing for me. Obviously, we need to make it, but I have such a passion for people. I have such a passion to help and be, a beacon of light for others because there's so much negativity going on. There's so much, and I'm probably not your typical therapist because I'm also going to give insight. I'm not going to just sit there and listen, but I love doing things like, this quote is this because it's really powerful. I always tell a lot of my clients, you know, my favorite, I get these IMs, and my favorite is, you have conquered every bad day to date. You have been victorious because you're here. So you're a warrior. You're stronger than you think. You know, things that we think we would never get out of. We're here to talk about it. And so I know it sounds so insane, but I'm thankful for all of my trials and tribulations. I've been almost kidnapped twice. I've been chased with a knife. Like, I was homeless at 12. There's so much about me that I've been through that I know that I could help others and say, like, you could do it. Because, you know, I get emotional talking about it, because it's like, I should not be here. I should be dead. There's so many times.
I wanted to know more about you.
Like, you know, it is. And
this
so
is too much for the podcast.
I
I'm gonna need to see you on the
definitely,
side.
well, yes. No, this is, we're going under, I got you offline for sure. But,
You're
you
really
know,
good at connecting
She's
people.
deep, bro.
Yeah,
It's a
come on,
gift.
man.
It's a
Look.
gift.
Come on.
I appreciate
Get out of
him. No,
here.
like, literally, you know, and I didn't even think, I bet you he thought I wasn't even going to hit him up, because he's like, text me, and I was like, okay, I got busy. That's another story. And so I was like, I need to contact him. Like, that was the first thing. So when I hit you that, I was like, nope, I need to do this.
When I meet people, and especially when it comes to certain things, it's not to be an asshole, but it's like you categorize what kind of person based on your interaction with them, right? Mm-hmm. It's like, you know, especially when it comes to business or other things like that, but just on a personal level. When I met her, she was super down to earth, right? And then we started talking about it, because I always tell people, why do you want to do that? She obviously, we're going to get to it, but she wants to do a podcast. So, you know, that's kind of what bonded us. You know what I mean? We started talking. I'm like, okay, well, what you want to do? And this is what she's telling me. What she's telling y'all now, she told me in person. And I feel the same way. Although I'm selfish, though, I'll keep it real with you, because the way I feel like it's like, if I'm going to help other people, I have to get myself right. And I will give my last, and I have given my last to other people and stuff like that, and done things to bring them together, connect them. If I could help you along in your journey, like give you another little push down the stream or whatever, I'll do that for you, because I know how it is, having been incarcerated, came home. I've been home 10 years. In 10 years, I taught myself to like really use computers. To now I edit and record all my shit and do all kinds of other things, right? So I know that feeling about like not having a little bit of hopelessness, and somebody, I would just, you know, just somebody's encouragement, somebody's kind words, or an example like, oh, yo, Ann fucking does vajacials, one day I could do them too, type shit. You feel me? I mean, I'm just saying. Totally in a scientific manner.
Look, I was with him, and then I got lost. Like, what?
We was all invested. We were really
Right? We was all sitting here hanging on your every word, and then I'm like, wait, you trying to play in pussy?
I gotta be
I'm
me,
lost.
baby. I gotta be me. I can't be nobody else but me.
We was getting too serious.
No, you know what? No, but this
exactly
is
what
me.
he does.
And this might be a coping mechanism
It is,
or whatever.
for sure.
But
It
this is me. Like you know, I
She'll
always.
see you on the side too.
You gotta laugh.
No, humor is actually a good coping mechanism.
You gotta
to find
laugh
humor
to keep from
is.
crying. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What
I
school
mean,
do you go to? Do you mind saying? Or?
Oh no, I go to Golden Gate University, so I am going to talk about, you know, I did complete my master's in 5 semesters.
Okay.
And I'm
Okay, come
exhausted.
through.
Yes.
That shit.
And I'm going to graduate with honors. So
Hey, of course.
I have
that's
a
evidence.
yeah.
Wow, expect
So
nothing
I am
less.
very, you know, again, I give God the glory, because I'm thankful, and I just feel like when you're doing your purpose on this earth, I feel like when you're doing what you're supposed to do, school is fun. It's exciting. You enjoy learning. You enjoy waking up every day and saying, okay, I got to go do something, make a difference. And this field is so broad. Like there's so many different ways you can go about it.
You accept Medi-Cal?
So I do not. So actually, I work. I don't even know if I
get your dollars
can bring
up.
them up.
Nah, get your coins up.
No. I mean, I do. So I work for. Well, I don't work, but I do my training shift through Liberation Institute, and they're in the city, but they do telehealth and stuff, and like.
Y'all take Blue Cross?
So they
I'm
do it on a
fucked
pay
up.
scale. So you know, sometimes people can only afford $20, and that's fine. So like they do it.
But
It's
I
a
don't want
nonprofit.
just because
It's
I could
really-
only afford $20, I don't want the $20 therapy. Give me
Right. I don't want the $20
Help me as
service.
much as you can within that time
No,
frame.
it is. It's people that are training. Everybody just has their different ways of doing things. So like for me,
I'm just talking shit.
I know,
I'm
but
sorry.
everybody but there are different people for different people. I will say it's
That's
definitely
true, though.
not
I've gone
everybody's for
through
everybody.
several therapists, so I truly believe that. I've had the person that sits there and be like, yes. I'm like,
Well,
I feel like you're wasting my money. I don't like
it
it.
is. That's not therapy. I think people think like, and I'm not going to talk about, you know, I don't know, but it's about and being interactive. I'm asking you questions because I'm seeing something and I need you to see it. Yeah. So how do you feel about that?
Helping us discover.
So it's
that
it's not a matter of like advice. It's we're navigating. I always say we're navigating through this journey, through this healing process, and I feel like it stems from childhood. And what
it always does.
Good old trauma.
It always does.
Trauma. Oh my God. So
fucking bullshit.
In other words, you're saying I'm fucking up my kids now.
Hey.
And it's gonna manifest as an adult.
We're trying.
One way or another, we're all fucked up. We're all healing.
My first love, her name was Trauma. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my God.
No, she was abusive.
She was
first love.
but she told me she loved me.
That's what they all say.
She didn't love me unless it hurt it though.
Yeah, exactly. Jesus Christ, man. Okay, so no, I don't, and that's kind of why I was like so adamant. I was like, yo, hit me. Whatever I could do, help you. I'll record a video step by step. You know, the things that you need to do, whatever it is that I can help you that you need is cool, and it'd be dope to have you on the podcast because, like I said, we're all a little fucked up over here, so it's good to get clarity sometimes and just be like, hey, you know what? Everyone else thinks you're fucked up too, but nah, I mean,
you would be surprised how much we all have in common.
No,
like
we really
you
do.
really,
honestly, about ourselves.
We're human. And
we're so alike and yet so different. But
we put up walls.
I think the what to me how everybody goes through some level of trauma.
Absolutely.
But I feel like how people how you internalize your trauma is always interesting to see. Like for me, like I used to be in foster care, and to me it was like a blessing in disguise. It wasn't like I ain't happy I was in foster care, but and so when you run into situations where like for me it's the reason why I do not like every day is a blessing, whereas I know other people that suffer with depression so badly that some days like they can't even get out of bed, and it'll be like, well, we kind of went through the same thing, but for whatever reason like we internalized it and
different.
It's almost
that's why
like
I can't judge people, you know what I mean? When
yeah.
it comes to that, it's like I don't know, like regardless of how what kind of lifestyle you came from or whatever, whether I consider it to be whatever the case, it's like I can't tell you how to feel, you know what I mean? I don't know what you've been through. Like what might have been nothing to me, you know what I mean, could have been everything to you, or vice versa, you know what I mean? So I'd try my best, yo, but I'm a very strong personality and like I said, laughter's my therapy.
You know, I wonder, I had a question here, check it out. I wonder what was some things that you enjoy about what you do, and what are some things that you do not enjoy about what you do?
Okay, Esther with the motherfucking questions.
Come
through, Esther! What kind of fucking professionalism the No Invite podcast deserves?
I did my homework.
But proceed.
Well, we know she definitely don't want to be working with no damn kids.
No, I don't. Not in a school-based session. And so what I like childhood, so psychodynamic more. So it's kind of the umbrella. It's not necessarily evidence-based, but it was like Freud and all them. So it's kind of the founding of the therapy realm. Yeah. So kids is really hard to talk about childhood if they're still a child. So for me,
they're still in it.
Yeah, they're still there. But
they're still getting traumatized.
Right, you're still some of those kids, you know. But
a lot.
It was. So that's what I didn't like. What I do like, well, I'll go into what I don't like first because I want to end on a positive note. Okay, so what I don't like is because sometimes I get frustrated with the same conversation.
Pop that shit.
Right.
Pop that shit. Y'all heard
that? Kind of the same conversation, kind of the same thing. Like, it's like different angles. Well, I just can't stop doing this. I just can't stop. And so it's not me to tell you whether you're right or you're wrong. It's kind of for me to sit there and help you figure out what is right for you and what doesn't work for you. And I think sometimes just kind of watching the process, like kind of what we were talking about earlier, like I wish you could see what I see.
Right.
Because although we're on telehealth and we're on a computer, like there is so much that you can know about a person just from that, you know? So it's kind of frustrating sometimes. I'm like, oh, you just,
body language,
like, you're great.
tone, fucking presence.
Right. And then there's things where I get sad about where I can't help. And then it's just like, or like I want to kind of put in this like like nurturing aspect. Like, oh my
God.
gosh, like there's been times where I've almost broke down with my clients, and I'm not your typical, and
Keeping
you
it
know,
together must be so
you really
hard.
care.
it is.
Like, you
It
really
can
feel
be.
it.
Yes.
Are you an empath?
Like I am.
You
I
have
am.
to be, I feel
so
like, in order to be
yeah.
in this profession.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're not in the right profession, right?
But some are
No.
not.
Some
Some
are
are
not.
very.
Some are not.
No.
Are they the
some
good
are
ones,
ve-
though? Because I feel like no.
No.
I feel, well, I wouldn't say they're not I won't say that they are bad. What I will say is they are not for certain people.
There's people that can take that. because I
There
feel
there
like
have been sexist, like especially in, you know, we're just gonna
Everybody
call a
has their
spade a
bias,
spade.
though, you know what I mean? Like-
Yes, but what is hard is Anne isn't gonna want to see anybody who's white and middle aged. Can't relate to what she's going
That's the
through,
reason
and
why I
there's no
haven't been to
diversity.
therapy yet, because
There's-
I don't
exactly.
wanna, like, it's like, bro, I have better conversations with people that I know, that I fuck with, family members, whatever the case. Excuse me. I have better conversation with them and feel more relieved about what I'm going through than I would feel about talking to a stranger. So, in order for me to want to get to that point where I'd want to go see somebody, I'd have to feel comfortable around you, period, just as a person. Like, and that's not something that you really get when you get put right on the spot. Like, hey, we're meeting right now, and this is what we're here. You know what I mean? It's like,
So therapy is always supposed to be like a process, right?
yeah.
What I will say, I advise everybody to have more than one therapist.
Like at a
If
time?
you can. Yes.
That's hot.
Now I'm gonna tell you. I mean, if you can. Can it be a throuple?
Esther in the corner getting drilled by two therapists, question after question.
But the reason why I say that,
Your trauma.
and
What was it?
the
Tell us
reason,
now.
no, the reason I say that is
Don't
because
make me.
the reason I say that is because, like, so. Correct me if I'm wrong. You were gonna say
You
like
can't come anymore. No, I'm just
Antoinette,
kidding.
or excuse me, you were gonna say Anne doesn't want a middle-aged white woman or white man because they won't understand my experience,
Yeah.
right? I tell everybody there is pros and cons to that. Talking to someone who understands my experience culturally may also give me the same answer that is appropriate culturally. So, like, I have acted, so I'm very interactive with mine. Like, I get to ask them questions. So, where you from? So, and I think when you get a person
I'm so sorry.
who is like, if you get like a person who's Hispanic or a person who's Japanese or a person who's white, because they're limited to what they will tell you, but their process for getting to certain things is sometimes different, and that can also be helpful. So like, I've had a therapist that was Japanese, and my interactions with her and how she gave me, you know, I don't know if you do it, but a lot of therapists would say, well, what if this was to happen? And they'll give you a totally different scenario. Well, her scenarios are usually based, or I will say my experience has been, their scenarios are usually based off of their experience and how they process and what they've seen, right? So their scenario will be hella different. I'm like, well, that don't happen in the black community, so I didn't even think about that. Like,
Why didn't you just call the cops?
right, and you be like, we don't do that in our neighborhood.
It's not
They
cool.
kill us. So, but so sometimes having like a therapist who is not the same culture as you, you can benefit from it. And I tell people that because I think people just shy away from it, like, ooh, she's a white woman, she ain't gonna help me. No, sometimes that white woman, one, she probably done been through some shit herself, but two,
don't
sometimes
know,
her
really.
experience can lead you down a path that is more comfortable, more in alignment with you than a person who is culturally connected to you.
That is true.
So,
I didn't think about that.
I always tell people to
That's
have
a great point.
Thank you.
Thank-
you
no,
know,
that
years of
is.
therapy has done this.
Right. Just a great.
That's why she's the best kept secret.
You feel me?
But, so
Oh, but wait, hold on. I gotta finish. You said, what do I love about it? I love watching the process. I love watching I feel like I could never do this, to I tried something and I was good at it and I'm proud of myself. Then I'm like, I do like a big thing. I'm like, victory. Because one thing I tell my clients is, I'm like, you know, everybody wants the big picture, but we always forget the small strokes in the picture that create the big picture. So
It ain't
taking
just
those
one
small
thing,
details, one thing at a time. So it's like watching that blossom, and just kind of over time, you're like, oh my gosh, it's just like self-revelation. And then And then sometimes it's hard because I can relate to them, and it's, you know, we call that countertransference, where you can relate to what they're going through, and you have to be so careful not to let your personal interfere with that, because it's about them, it's not about you. And when you get to, I've been through that, I can relate through that, it can really
I do
muddy.
that a lot.
Yeah, it can really muddy things up.
That's
What
a
do you
counter,
think?
I guess, yeah.
So, you know, we talked about it, and you said you're getting ready to start doing your podcast. We're not going to ask no details because it ain't for everyone yet. You know what I mean? You choose when you want to, you know, give that to the world. But what made you want to do podcasting, and what more or less is kind of like your message or what you're trying to bring to the podcasting game? Because, like, before you answer that, you know, there's a lot of competition when it comes to shit. And I like to think it's still like this, but podcast has been one of those places where people don't have that rap mentality or that, we're doing business mentality, where, like, you know, they try to cut your throat, or they try to roadblock, you know, your success, or they have issues with seeing you being successful. So I really feel like the podcasting community is it's more supportive of each other. So what made you want to get into this space, and, like, you know, where do you feel you're gonna go with it?
Well, I was going to do a podcast back in like 2019. I had got all this stuff. I was so motivated, and I was like, well, what do I do with all this? And I was like, okay. And I didn't have connections. I really was so lost. I was looking up things, but it's really hard to kind of start when you don't know where to start.
Sure.
You know, you're not sure what podcast I don't even know how to upload certain things. So
I feel you.
I was kind of like, whatever. So I kept talking about, I was just so still people have asked me, I talked about it so much, like, when are you doing it? And now, you know, I was in this, I just kept saying, I'm going to do it. And then 2022, I was like, I'm not doing what you got to do, different things to get different results. If I'm going to do this, I got to change something up. I got to figure it out. And 2022 has been dedicated to me and how I'm learning and how I'm doing healing and figuring out what I need to do next. So my podcast is a part of my personality. It's what I want. I want to get the word out, not only for God, because I'm a very devout Christian, a devout woman of God, but also be real. I know what it's like to go through. I know what it's like. I've been there. I know, be that beacon of light and inspiration. I want to have deep conversations. Let's be real. Let's talk about real stuff. Let's get uncomfortable. Let's bring things to the table. Well, I mean, let's get uncomfortable.
Really.
Yeah.
As a grown-up, you got to have these uncomfortable conversations in order to grow as a relationship.
Exactly. And just walking in your truth and being honest. So many people just want somebody to relate to. And it is about a community and a village. So many, like you said, there's so many people who I have this going on and have this going on. And you would be so surprised about how many people have that in common or have that, that thing to share with you. And I feel like I've gone through so much and everything in my life for a reason. And so what better way than to get it out in a podcast? I'm not a type of person. I'm not center of attention. I'm chill. I'm really just down to earth. Even at that video, that was not me. I was like, okay.
I know what was going on. I just knew that you were because when you meet people, they don't always talk. And I'm like, yo, to me, besides being observant, if I'm interacting with you, I'm gonna speak to you, because then that lets me know a lot about what I need to know about. You was cool. But go ahead, proceed.
No, so yeah, so I think the podcast is a good way to express myself and get that out and have conversations, meet new people, get new perspectives about things. We talk about diversity in the therapeutic world, but I've never heard it in the way of that, of course, that's great, but it's also okay to get a different opinion. So bringing that, so now I have that in my head. It's about knowledge, and I want to share knowledge. I have this in my head now. I want everybody to win, and I'm not trying to be stingy with anything that I have. If I got it, I'm gonna give it to you. If I can give you this, because I truly believe in people, and I do believe in change, and I do believe that it has to start somewhere. And with me and just my life, it starts with me. I have to be the different one, because we gotta do different. Yeah. So my podcast that's what I want. I want to reach others.
Listen.
I want to, talk. Yes, I'm
right here.
I just love people, and like I said, I feel like that's what I'm supposed to do. I'm here to help and serve and give God the glory, because
That's right. I ain't mad at you at that. And the thing about it is everybody, podcasting is a thing. I've always said that it's a good way for people to to relate to one another and actually get like a different perspective that they wouldn't normally get. Like everything on TV, let's face it, it's fucking watered down and dressed up, and it has to be a certain thing. It's not really. It's rare that you're gonna hear some anchorman or somebody on these major news platforms actually say how they really feel, because it's all an agenda. It's all a message.
It's already written out for them, right?
Yeah, so they got guidelines. They could only be so real because they can't say certain shit on the air. You know what I mean? Period. So at the end of the day, it's like podcasting is the new source for people to get not only news but perspective. You know what I mean? To get information. You know, even with you, like to get some healing, even possibly.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? To get some sort of perspective on their mental health. Because like when you told me what you were doing, I was like, that's dope. We need more of that. And not only do we need more of that, but we need to be able to like extend each other's networks. Like same thing like with Bottled Up, whatever the fuck podcast, right? Like if I like what you're doing, I want my people that listen to me to go listen to you as well, because I feel like kind of what we do here is that I try to empower people. I try to put people on, try to empower. If you need something, if I got it, it's yours. Yeah. It's the same way, because I believe that you're very capable of a lot, but there's going to be times where you need help.
Absolutely.
And a lot of times, whether it's our own selves being too proud to ask for it, or actually asking for it but not having anybody that's willing to give you. Like I came up when I came up doing my music and my business shit, motherfuckers wasn't sharing game. They weren't putting each other on. They weren't like, yo, this is the move, or you should try this. It wasn't none of that. Only the real ones were.
So weird to me.
Yeah, that's
so weird.
It's weird. It's
That's
weird.
guys though. Is guys like that?
It's guys, but it's not just guys.
humans.
It's not just guys. It's really
Humans.
it's insecurity, I think, because at the end of the day, because it's like what I do shouldn't stop what you're doing. You know, if anything,
it should
there needs
promote
to
it
be
almost,
more.
you know?
Exactly. So if somebody if somebody listens to you and likes what you do, and then somebody says, oh, he put me on, you recommended this cat and he's dope, or I just like him, and you know, in the same thing, it shouldn't affect what you do.
No.
You shouldn't have to dim anybody's light to shine.
No,
Exactly.
that one
You
for
shouldn't.
Sure.
You
Exactly.
shouldn't.
I don't even know how that feels.
I'm just
I
not
really
a hater.
don't.
I'm gonna be honest. I've never been a hater. Like I've always like, if you're winning, I'm like
I'd
yes,
rather
even if
fucking,
I'm not.
Yeah, I'd rather not.
I feel like my experience in life
know.
has always been I'm always hated on, or I'm always the person people like. I've always been super loud, super friendly. I always tell people, like when you said I'm a hugger, I was like, oh my god,
I enjoyed your hug, by the way.
Yes,
it was
I loved
so
it.
like wholesome, you know.
I love that.
What's a wholesome hug?
Seriously?
Well, that's when your pelvises don't touch. It's just when your pelvis touches, not so
hug her? Because I'm like, wait, I've never heard that before.
And leads with the pelvis. That's what
No, not with the pelvis. That's not a wholesome hug.
wholesome, right?
That's
No,
not
that's
a
what I'm
wholesome
saying, right?
hug, Blaze. What the fuck?
No, that's what I was saying.
No, a wholesome hug.
That's what I'm saying. A wholesome hug is when the pelvises don't touch.
Okay. They don't touch.
That's what I'm saying.
So I
ours
don't
didn't
give
touch.
wholesome hugs?
No, we do. No, the way that she held on.
You're just a whole lot of some.
Not just like
Stop. Can we not compare hugs? Can we just say, wow, that was so great of her?
that was so great of you to give her a wholesome hug.
Yeah, I mean, because we all have definitions of hugs. To me, a hug is when you hug my penis. Which,
Ew. Oh my god.
that's why I'm asking.
Hug it with your lips.
You know what I'm saying?
Whoa.
What's the
not
sound effect,
appropriate.
Ann? What's the sound effect? No, that's the sound effect. Okay.
My mouth is.
Hey.
See, this is why we just need to hurry up and we need to start having like a session called Therapize Me.
That is amazing.
Therapize me.
Yeah.
So is that your new podcast
But I love
name?
that. No, but that is
Hold on,
definitely
trademark
that. I don't
right
know,
here.
right?
I'm like, hold on, do I need to trademark this first?
That could be your little segment. That would be cute.
No. You gonna come and therapize
that
me.
could be like a little segment. That'd be fun.
Therapize.
Do not therapize me on air, please.
That'd be fun.
So look, I ain't even gonna lie to you.
No,
I ain't gonna hold you. I know you're in the process of doing what you're doing. You said and all that, but you're always welcome to come back. And it would be dope to get like a segment where we actually do one. Maybe
Yes, I
even
would
if it's
love
sometimes it's just because we do Zoom sometime.
Yeah.
But it all depends on the audience. If y'all need help, and I know if you listen to us, You definitely need some kind of help. If you need
If you're
help,
still listening to us.
they're listening, bro. Like, so y'all are fucked up like we are,
And it's never judgment. It's all love. Honestly, I know.
Whatever.
It's
we get a lot of
slowly.
listener in Germany too, by the way.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Guten Tag.
Yeah,
Was
guten
ist
Tag,
los?
you feel me? Let me know, like, hey, she gonna school me on all that. I have better dialect for your vocabulary. You know what I'm saying? But no, yeah, that would be dope.
And I appreciate it. I have to say this. I'm honored. I appreciate the time. I'm serious.
I'm
thankful.
I encourage and endorse the podcast shenanigans. I've told Ann has definitely considered doing her podcast. She's like 80% ready to go with her podcast.
I just have to clean my basement. Because it's embarrassing to have you over. You're not going to come into my basement with how dirty my fucking basement is. I promise you.
But it's a basement.
It's a dirty basement. I
Is it a
promise
spooky
you.
basement?
Oh my God.
I feel about
You know
a
what?
basement.
Tell your husband to get in there and pull all that shit out.
My
You know what
husband
I'm saying?
stays in there and it's so dirty.
Yeah, he stays in your basement, huh? Your filthy
No,
basement.
he works Monday and Thursday there, and it's so dirty.
So-
Feels so bad for him.
Here's
I
the
went down there
thing.
the other day, and I got like anxiety just going down there. I'm like, this is fucking out of pocket. Like,
It looked like a hostage
Okay,
lived
so
there.
listen, you
said
saying a basement just made me think of something. Total sidebar. Have
What?
you ever watched that show? Any of you guys? How to Build a Sex Room?
No.
It's
I've
on
seen
Netflix.
it, but it's not appropriate for my audience.
What?
I can't watch it with the kids, bro. These kids are motherfucking all around all the time.
What's that?
They gotta go to bed. They gotta go to bed.
And when they go to bed,
Hey,
I don't know.
How crazy is it that you used to have to, when you were a kid or when you were young, you used to have to hide watching porn, and now that you're old and you got kids, you gotta hide that you watch porn.
it's not even porn. I'm just trying to watch some adult shit on Netflix, and I can't even watch some adult shit on Netflix.
So the
bro.
reason why I even brought it up is
Pocket.
because one of them
How
had
do you
a
build
basement.
a sex room?
Yes, well, the woman, she gonna do it, and she she makes it very like nice, and some of them are very elegant, but she shows you how to like
Are elegant.
build spaces.
I need like a
they're like-
sex / podcast.
I would
area.
love to have. Anyways, that was a different conversation.
No comment.
But-
I'm not helping her on that kind of podcast, by the way. I'm executive
It's
producing the
sounding
podcast, but
It's giving like OnlyFans vibes.
No. This shit is for free, baby.
she's like, "Why charge it? This is a gift. Give it to the world." You know what I'm saying?
You're welcome.
That makes it weird when you start
Spreading
paying motherfuckers.
hey.
They make it entitled. Like, no, you're not entitled
Hey.
to shit. You'll get what you
Spreading
get. You
positive
won't feel
vibes.
fit.
You feel me?
Spread what you say?
That's a
Spreading
good one.
positive vibes. You know
No.
what I'm saying?
You know everything's so rough. Like even with the thumb. Like,
It's called emphasis. You feel me? It hits better. You feel what I'm saying? I could be smooth.
Oh my god.
Why that though? That's a lot.
Like all the
I was gonna
way.
say that's a whole arm.
It's better to have enough than not enough.
No, that part
'Cause you
is
can
true,
scale it
and I
back.
will
You dig what I'm
say,
saying?
I'm done talking.
yeah.
What are we talking about, by the way? How the fuck did we get to this
I realized I was going left, so I stopped talking. I was like,
it's my fault. I blame it on me. I promise.
listen,
This is why we need
don't use the
Brittany
term
here for
blame. We
all our
appreciate
shit.
the fact that you
You-
opened the door for us to have this conversation that was well needed.
Okay.
Appreciate you.
Podcast coming
You
soon.
can tell me
Yes.
later, Brittany, what's wrong with me.
Nothing. I just love all
Hey,
this.
she has more than enough episodes to figure that out. All you gotta do
No,
is go listen
I
to the
always
back
hold back,
catalog,
bro.
and you can see exactly what's wrong with all of us. Like, but I really
So I
appreciate
kind
you
of
being
feel
here.
perfect, so I don't know what he's talking about.
Denial, yes.
It's a beautiful place.
We all have.
To
all
be
been
fair,
there.
I've gotten years of therapy and I'm still in therapy, just to be fair.
Hey, well, you know what? To be honest with you, I would rather prefer that because it's like, to me, if somebody is trying to help me figure things out, I would rather that you know by personal experience, and know all the technical stuff, all the all the book stuff, I guess you could say, because I don't. That's why, like I said, I've had problems with trying to do therapy. I'm like, yo, there's nothing a fucking middle-aged white woman
Or man.
that or man or whatever that's never lived in the area or how I lived or seen or experienced or even known people that experience shit that I experienced. It's hard for me to be able to be comfortable. I feel like I'm telling on myself, like, bro, like I would never like go in there and just talk about my
I kind of feel like it's a
personal
novella,
shit.
almost like
It's a who?
a novella,
Like a soap
soap opera.
Oh.
Like
You
I
see,
go in
I
there
was
and
so
I tell
lost.
them,
Like, what is she talking about?
and they're like, and
She's
then
like,
what
I didn't know-
happened?
I
Like
didn't
they're
know Esther
fucking
was
eating
Mexican.
the popcorn while I talk.
Yeah.
Every now and again I can say something, but don't expect me to say much. I promise you. Que rico. That's it. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, that's universal. Everyone knows what that means.
I tell people I speak KFC Spanish. That's it.
That's right. What's
What does that mean?
I worked at KFC, and a lot of the people in the back would teach me how to say words.
So you know what chicken nugget is? And
Chicken
I'd be
nugget.
like, mas papas fritas.
Papas fritas. Hey, and I already knew Ann was with the shenanigans.
Oh my
Okay,
God.
But
so,
I do think
You're
everybody
awful.
can benefit from therapy, and I
Absolutely.
appreciate the fact that you
Everything,
actually want to do it. That's dope.
Yes.
Your soul, it shines for sure.
I can see your
Yeah.
aura like Rick James. You feel me?
I would say,
like
but
when
I
I
don't
see
cuss.
people, and the reason I asked you earlier too about being an empath.
Oh, you
is
said
like,
you don't cuss?
Mm-mm.
Oh, damn, why you didn't say that? I've
It
been
doesn't
cussing
hurt
this whole
because
time.
I don't judge. I love people. Be yourself. Like I
Yeah,
don't
let me
want
be
I
me.
cuss at my therapist, bro.
Yeah, my
I tell her, I
clients
said, check it out, I'm about
do.
to say some dirty shit. Are you with it or not? She's like, go ahead.
I'm not gonna lie. There are some times where I'm
I'm
like,
like, and then this motherfucker.
I'm like that happened, and so me, I have facial expressions when I'm very comfortable.
Some things
And
you
there have
just
been
can't like.
times I looked down, I was like my eyes got big, and I was like, and like I have to be very cognizant of my face because some of these stories or things that people go through, I'm like,
and then
oh
you-
my
and-
gosh.
Yeah, and you don't want to fucking. You know, I
Yeah,
get it,
no,
you
it's
wanna-
not about
You don't put your
judgment,
bias
but it's
on
not
it.
But you're just
about
like-
judgment.
it's
It's
just
just like,
being
oh my
astonished
gosh,
sometimes,
yeah.
yeah.
It's just
Good
like,
for
oh my
you.
gosh.
See,
I don't understand why people are so anti-judgment.
What do you mean?
I think there's a way to judge. I think that it depends on how you look at it. So I think good judgment of character is one thing, discernment, all that is one thing. And it's also important to understand that usually past patterns are typical future indicators of what's going to happen again. So having that judgment on what you have, but constantly, well, I'm gonna judge you because you've been to jail. Like, you know what I'm saying? That kind
Look
of
how he,
background.
look how he eats his top ramen with them chips and them fucking spread and that shit.
But
Put
oh my
cheese
God,
on
you
it.
still
Bound
eat
to do
spreads?
it again.
I think that's.
I think I just judged.
This is a judge-free zone, by the way. Go
I
ahead.
think I'm sorry.
No,
go
go
ahead.
ahead. No, what do you
I was
think?
Make
just
me
gonna
feel
say
bad,
I don't listen. Oh God.
Make me feel bad.
I guess to some degree, as humans, it's human nature to judge, right? I think you can judge respectfully.
Okay.
As long as you are judging respectfully, I'm gonna have a judgment. That's just what it is. Because
I kind of feel like that's like a contradicting, though. Like a judging respectfully.
yes,
like,
I can judge you respectfully.
I'm okay with all
Can you
that
give me
as
an
long as it's
example?
you're okay with the
like that one.
consequences.
Now that part is true.
What is
Now I do
judging
feel like
respectfully?
because like I can judge you respectfully. Like, let me think of an example. So like the spreads.
I'm just gonna look
But I
over
think
there.
isn't respectfully a matter of opinion, though? So like,
Okay, no.
What
How
I
about
mean
this
when I
then?
say-
tell me how you feel about me still eating occasionally a spread.
I think you have what's that? Stockholm a little bit.
Wow.
Or institutionalized, you mean?
Yeah,
Just a little bit,
institutionalized,
yeah. But
yeah.
me, when I first of all, some spreads is good. Like I done seen some when I be like, "Ooh, that was
never had
yummy."
spread, that was good.
Oh, okay.
You never had a spread after you had to cut
But I
cut
ain't
somebody
never
up.
fucked a hood nigga.
But no, what I will say though is when I say judge respectfully, I mean realistically you're going to judge, and you may feel. I just don't feel like your judgment always needs to be verbalized because I feel like if you're going to comment about like your judgment, like, "Will you still eat spreads?" Now my response usually they come very like just question like
feel
right,
you.
but I do feel like part of judging respectfully would be asking a question versus making a statement.
Yeah.
So like if I say like, "Ooh, you still eat spreads?" and you say yes, I would ask why. I may still be making a judgment like, "Oh my God,
Totally.
he probably still institutionalized,"
Totally.
but I'm not. But in order for me to truly get a true concept of whatever is going on, I have to ask questions. And I think where most people go wrong with their judgment is you get to like
Make a
batting off
statement,
out the
yeah.
mouth before you know the backstory, right? And if you don't know the backstory, then. And sometimes I do feel like part of being respectful is keeping your opinion to yourself. Like, just,
Absolutely.
Well, I'm also a firm believer. It's like don't share with people if you're sensitive to how people react to things.
that part is
Sure.
very
Because
true.
it's like
For
it's like if I put that out there, then I don't give a fuck how y'all feel about it.
have
Like
to.
you know what I'm saying to
That
begin
also-
with. So
Yeah.
Now on the
I
flip
say
side-
I say it and I stand on it. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
but on the
And-
flip
and
side of
then
that,
I'll- you know what I mean?
you got to make sure if you're going to comment, The same way, like, don't put nothing out there. If you put it out, if you put
be
it out there
prepared for
and
the
the person has a comment, or concern, you can't control how somebody else is going to respond, and that's always my answer to people. Because I may feel like I ain't got no choice but to slap you up a little bit. That's just like the way my hands work. They have minds of their own, and they were like, boop, boop, boop. Hey.
But it's presentation, right? So if there's an issue, it's about how you're coming at me, like you said. Like, ooh, I mean, because I'll be honest, if I were, I know I make faces where I'm like, oh, okay, and then just kind of go about my business. Like, if I hear something that's kind of like, oh, you do that? Oh, okay. It's just kind of random. But I think it is, but you also have to look at body language, but it is important, I think, just to have that courtesy and respect. Like you said, nobody has to hear. Do you want to hear my opinion? And that's what I ask. Because if you're not,
for sure.
I'll just sit here. And,
because that part is true.
And what I
I'll be
like-
quick to tell people no, because an opinion is like an ass crack. Everybody got them.
Everybody got them,
yep.
Yeah, that's why.
And some of them stank.
Yeah. I totally lost my train of thought, but I agree with that.
So yeah.
Nah, but you know what? You're right. It's like also being, I think, part of getting to know yourself is also learning how to react to things.
Respond.
Because how you react and respond to things can make or break everything that you got going on, whether it's in the current situation or just your life in general. Me being an ex-convict, I am very careful and cautious of how I present myself and how I respond to things, because I know what's at stake. And what would be a slap on the wrist for anyone else would mean years of my life. Yeah. So I didn't learn that my first term, but my second term.
But you got it.
But the point is, I got it though.
But that's wisdom.
And
Max.
part of that is also like understanding like what I can offer, what can I expose and what can I not expose as far as who I am as a person. I know that I like to crack jokes, and I will speak on something if you bring it up. You dig what I'm saying? And stuff like that. Yeah. I am also very aware to be respectful of people in general, because once again, even though I've been through a lot, I don't know what the fuck you've been through. You know what I'm saying? So what might mean everything to you might be nothing to me, but because it's nothing doesn't mean that it makes it any less worthy or any less important. You dig what I'm saying? Like
You're super smart.
Tell him stop.
No.
I'm just like, hold on, we having a moment and shit.
Right now, before you get too deep, make them pay for the rest.
I just got away with words. Some might say I'm a master of conversation. I just might say, you're damn near right. But look, Brittany, I appreciate you for coming. You know what I mean?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you for coming.
I know you don't do the social media, and that's like a conversation we got to have just on some other shit.
Wait, what do you mean you don't? Hold on, wait, time out. No. Pause. You don't have social media like at all?
So I have Facebook. I'm just kind of, I know. And I do have a Snapchat, but I never do.
Not
I just have it
apologize
because
for that shit.
It's
interesting.
So I got off Instagram like what are we in September? Like 6 months ago. No. It's been the best thing. My confidence, everything. I don't compare myself. I don't care. I don't look at highlight reels. I live in my bubble. I mean, with respects of everything going around me, but I just think social media, and we can have a whole conversation.
Bro.
It's the Matrix. You get lost in it, and you live in these highlight reels. And I am so happy. I don't know what's going on with celebrities. I don't care. They don't pay my bills.
To give you
a
smaller thing, like I don't watch the news anymore. No TV.
I don't watch the news.
It's just everything is too devastating.
That's why I don't watch the news. And in all honesty, I mean, I do have social media, but in all honesty, I don't have cable.
Yeah,
I don't see the value in paying for it
at all. And I mean, everybody's different. Everybody, I understand that social media is also good for platforms and stuff. So I think it just obviously, I think whenever
how you're
whatever's
using
best
it.
for you.
Yeah.
Like some people can't handle it, some people can, and some people I know. And I find it strange as fuck because it's like they have it, but they never use it. I'd be like, bro, what do you have it for? Like,
they're lurking.
You know what I mean? No, but yeah, you're right.
Is there some lurkage around here?
But you're probably right though. But there's benefits to that though. Like, honestly, I used to be the person that always repost everybody, always like everybody's shit, always comment, always try to help everybody's shit out. And it really just stressed me out more than anything. Doing that shit. Sure. You know what I'm saying? So and people I had to learn to fall back from that. And sometimes I'll go on my Instagram and I won't like nothing. and I'll look at everything. I won't comment. I just like, I do. You know what? You know why? Because it makes me feel good.
No, for real. And to be honest, I'm a person. I guess I was shocked. I'm not gonna lie.
Mm-hmm.
You made me clutch my pearls.
It's okay. It's okay.
Like, she ain't got no social media. What? But
that's a good thing.
No, it didn't. See, and that was how I was judging you respectfully.
No, that's okay. I didn't take it like judgment. It's most people are like, wait, you don't, and it's like, yeah, and that's fine. Like, I think at the end of, I love it. I love your genuine responses. You know, like, oh wait, what?
Yeah. I think the only I find it.
Just don't knock over all your beers, you wino.
I think the reason why I was a little shocked was because you did say that you want to have your own podcast. So I wasn't sure if you're even like comfortable and familiar with like navigating, because I was like, it's a whole beast with the social media.
So she has had social media before, so she knows how to move. But the cool part about that, if you really don't want to be social media, then you just get somebody you trust and have them post shit for you and answer and post your clips and answer because it's all about curation. So you got to constantly have some kind of content on there,
right.
And if you want to bring attention to your podcast, to your message, obviously you got to have that.
Well, that's why I got my best friend Brandon, and he's a vibe because you got to have him on, with respects. He's a whole vibe, but that's his thing. He loves social media. That's what he does. Perfect. So.
That's why, like I was saying, like, and I've been telling you, I shifted a lot of the responsibilities because I was doing everything. But Ann has been consistent for 2 seasons now, so that's 2 years, and she's for sure just as much. I think I want her to be the focal point of this whole podcast. So. I need.
He trying to make me blush.
Right.
I need other team members to take some of these things off my hands so that it can be that. Because as long as it's totally reliant on everything that I do, then I'm going to always be in that fold. And I don't want to be. I want to take a more executive producer. I'm executive producing, what's it called? Esther's podcast or, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But we're not going to act like I just said her government name. But you know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Gotta beep it out.
Yeah, nah, fuck all that. You know what I mean? It is what it is. I done said it hella times. And it is what it is. You know what I mean?
It is what it is.
Yeah. So, it's all about everybody being into like having what their strengths are. Because if I know that, like you said, he's into social media and the whole thing, then you could have him set up your account for you, run it, and you can still do what you do and still be outside of that realm and still have a presence.
Right.
Which is important.
And I know that is important.
It is important because that's how although it's fucking crazy and it's wild and disrespectful, but it's also a way to bring people together. And even if everybody doesn't honor that whole bond of how lucky we are to be together, you dig what I'm saying? Like to be able to contact one another. You good?
No.
I tried to hold that in.
I did that shit on purpose, you guys. Holla. Holla.
I was literally trying to hold back the laugh. I was like,
don't ever hold back, and give it to me.
I'll give you every piece of me. I got you.
So look, I know we can't find you nowhere, but I want you to know right now.
But I'll be here.
Yes, you're here, and this is what I want you to know is that you're more than welcome to come back at any time. Even as a revolving guest, maybe like every other week or whatever the case might be.
I'm so honored.
It'd be dope to have you on here because we're really fucked up over here. So it'd be nice to have somebody that knows a little.
Speak for yourself.
I'm telling you, we got to do the segment. Therapize me. She could pick. Literally, she can do 3 episodes and therapize each of us. I want to sit here. I want to be your friend, but I would be sitting here like this. I would be. Oh well, they can't see me, but I would be sitting here like a kid. Like,
we can't
oh
put it
my
on air.
god,
What's wrong with me? That one.
As much as I love good content and I love all that, I'm not gonna exploit my own pain on
Let's talk about that. But I don't mind telling my story either. So
no, I don't mind that neither. But I'm talking about when we're talking about therapize me and start working through some of my issues. Maybe them issues ain't ready for the world yet.
Okay, well let's start with the surface.
I get that part because I've said my story plenty of times on the podcast.
But we could start with the surface issue, right?
Nah, what we could start with is our scumbag audience that listens to us and shit. If y'all want to get therapized, y'all could send a little topic, an issue, something that might want some clarity.
Oh, that would be nice to have one of the.
once we get a few of them for you, we'll call you. You can pull up, and you can maybe try to attempt to cleanse our fucking following of all the bad juju or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But look, we're gonna keep it moving. This is the No Invite podcast. Thank you once again. Since we don't have anything, Brittany, let's everybody give her a round of applause, please.
Thank you.
Appreciate you being here. This is the No Invite podcast. We got Hot Mama. Hot Mama, where can they find you at? Where can they scope you out?
Go look at my tie-dye at Totally Period Tie-Dyed Designs. No, it's something like that.
It's along those lines.
Totally Period Tie-Dyed Period Designs is what I am. So you guys just go look at my shit if you want to and like it, and then send
buy
me a
some shit.
message.
Buy some shit.
Buy some shit.
No, I got a pop-up coming up, and you guys can check out the flyer for that. But besides that,
Okay, girl.
What about the best kept secret, man? Where can they find you?
Listen, if you want your coochie taken care of, I got you.
Vajacious.
You feel me? So
If you want her to slap your coochie with a new face on it, like a body shot.
is that what you do?
maybe, definitely.
She's got
Listen.
the coochie font with different outliers and shit.
Right. So if you are looking to have anything done,
your
esthetician to all your whole body,
your skin.
anything skin. I do chemical peels, waxing, vajacials. I do body sculpting. I do it all. All you got to do is hit up Anasa Opulent Aesthetics, ANASAOPLUENT Aesthetics, AESTHETICS. That is what you can find me on Instagram. But if y'all want to see all that other reckless shit, you can definitely go to my Instagram and you can hit up the underscore best underscore kept underscore secret one.
Underscore. Oh, okay. Just making sure.
The best kept secret, and the number one is behind it. So yes, if y'all want to go see some reckless shit, just know, I may have to mute you for a day.
Please do. So if you want somebody to cut off all your skin and wear you like a hoodie,
Oh my God.
then you might need some therapy, and you might need to holler at Brittany about that shit. But if you want to find the No Invite podcast, you can go to Instagram at no_invite_podcast. You could also subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's RiBirth Media Films, RiBirth Media Films with a Z. You can find all the visual stuff. The 100th episode, I promise it'll be there eventually. The visual part.
Can I say one thing?
Yeah, go
Because
ahead.
I could not be up here and not represent my best friend
Come on.
and his new music video, King Devo. It's called Bout It, Bout It. It hasn't dropped yet, but he's amazing.
go.
Yeah,
The plug.
so I gotta give him love. Like
Off top. And that's how we met,
Because I
right?
wouldn't have met him if it wasn't for that video.
Now hold on. Do he have an Instagram?
Yes, he does have an Instagram.
So maybe you should,
hold on.
Yeah, plug that in.
Hold on.
Yeah, that way it could hit the link in the bio or whatever when it drops and shit. Hell to the motherfucking year.
We about to beat about it, about
All I know is
Yeah. You know what? But it's a really deep message. It's actually talking about domestic violence, and domestic violence month awareness is coming in October. So it's actually a really, really, really great podcast. I mean, not podcast, Cheese and Crackers music video about it. And so his Instagram is King Devo Strut. That's KING Devo DIVO Strut STRUT. So check him out. He's amazing.
There you go. And this the motherfucking 101 episode.
101.
You could go onto all podcasting platforms, type in No Invite Podcast, you will find us there. You might find us in your bitch's DMs, but trust me, it's only promotion, okay? I promise you. And I don't run the account, so I don't know
Unless
what's going on with that.
Oh, his song is actually already out on all platforms. I'm so sorry. So
The song's out, but the video ain't out yet.
but the video ain't out yet.
Okay.
So
There you go. With that being said, we're going to keep it moving. And if you don't take the motherfucking driver's seat next time we jump out this bitch, it's going to be a problem. I'm going to have to holler at Dre to, you know what I'm saying, put the smash
Leave
down
Dre
or
out
something.
of it.
Leave him out of this.
No,
Shout out to Dre,
I'm
man.
actually smitten by
I
Dre.
can't wait. She said smitten. That's
I
a
am
good
very
one.
You know,
smitten by him.
part of the dating game. You know, we're gonna with the podcast is paying for a date for them to go on,
There you go.
and we're gonna vlog it. So
Yes.
you know, what I mean, of course, we wouldn't give you something without exploiting you too. So you know what I'm saying. With that being said, it's the No Invite Podcast. We love y'all.